Hi. So, um, it's been a while since I've put anything up, a long while, and there's a reason behind that. So, the reason that I started this whole YouTube project channel thing was because my dad was diagnosed with cancer in his esophagus, and he had to give up working, and he closed down his business, and he started spending a lot of time at home, and this kind of led him to getting not really depressed, but it's not much you can do at home, and he started to, lose interest in a lot of things. So what I decided that I wanted to do was I wanted to give him something to care about, something to look forward to, instead of just getting up and going through the motions every day of wake up, make breakfast, watch Ellen DeGeneres, and do what normal people do that don't work. So, nap. And I thought, well, it'll give him something to look forward to. He can spend some time with me. We can play some video games. He can start to care about the characters and get into it and have something to look forward to every day. But what ended up happening shortly after the first video was put up was he's kind of the chemo got really hard, and he couldn't do much afterwards. It was just kind of wasn't up to it. He didn't have the energy. So we decided to wait for a little while, and waiting turned more into a game of, well, we'll do it tomorrow if you're feeling better. Or you're not feeling that well? Okay, we'll do it tomorrow. Okay, we'll do it tomorrow. Kind of waiting for him to get into a zone of feeling well enough to actually participate and play. And a lot of time's gone by. I can't expect more of him than I would of anybody else in that situation. So, but on Thursday I woke up and went into I got ready for college. Went into the office where my dad was sleeping, because he sleeps in his recliner. Gave him a hug, told him I loved him, and he told me he loved me too, which was a really big deal because for the last couple of days he's been really confused. We kind of think that it worked into his brain at the end of, it started to work into his brain lately. So I go to my class, I go to my environmental science lab, take care of all this stupid stuff. And I get let out an hour and 20 minutes early because there's not much to do. So I decided I'm going to go to the lab, the computer lab, type up the lab report, get it all done, send it over to my lab partners so that they can put it together so it sounds all nice. And I head over to the choir room so I can start reading while I wait for ethics class to begin, which is probably 2 hours away. By the choir room is the only place in the school where I get service on my phone. I don't know why, because, bricks stacked, so thick are only going to let so much signal through. And then I get a call from my mom, and she's like, hey, you need to come home. I'm like, okay, I'll head home. She must need me to do something for her. I got it. No big deal. And so I head home, and I get home, and I see that my mom's best friend, her car is there. And my mom's best friend is a nurse. She's been looking out for my dad for a while. And I go inside, and she's waiting. The best friend is waiting at the top of the stairs. She opens the gate that we have to keep our dog upstairs, and she points me towards the direction of the office. And I go in, and my mother and my older brother are waiting in there, and My mom looks up to me and she says, "I went to give your dad medicine and he didn't wake up." At this point, he's probably breathing maybe 4, 5 times a minute, maybe, and it's really, really light gasps, almost like a, and so my dad was just kind of lying there, taking breaths. My mom decided she was gonna call the administrator at my little brother's high school, and the guidance counselor went down to the cities and picked him up and took him back home. So we're all sitting in there. It's me, my mom, my 2 brothers, my dad, and by this time a lot of my extended family is over at our house now, including the hospice nurse. And my Uncle Gary comes into the room, and my mom is looking at my dad, who, pretty much unconscious, but the nurse said could hear us, but couldn't talk or move or anything, almost catatonic. And my mom says, "Sweetheart, you have to tell Gary that joke now. You told me yesterday you'd tell him the joke." And I don't know why, but every time I think about that, my heart breaks a little bit. And so we each got a moment to say our goodbyes to my dad. We each got a little time to sit in the room alone with him, tell him, we loved him, everything that was going on. And finally, after we all had our moments, we got back into the room, and we were all sitting in there. My mom says to my dad, she says, "Sweetheart, we know you love us very much, and we love you so very much. And it's alright to let go. It's alright to go home." And my dad stopped breathing. He died on Thursday the 6th at 2:01 p.m. So the funeral's going to be in a couple of days, right after the wake, at the end of this next week coming up. So no more Fallout New Father. I might start something up with my little brother soon, but no more of this. I'm glad that the last things that I got to say to him were that I love him and that I was there when he left. But I thought I should tell, the people who watch this, because they're probably wondering, well, he put up 1 episode and then did he get lazy? No, it never was the right time. So yeah, there's not really much else to say. I love my dad very much. I'm gonna miss him so much. And if you want, you can go back and watch that video. You can stay and see what me and my brother decided to put up, or you can call it quits. But I thank you for your time, and I thank you for listening to me.